South Plains, a good Friday night to you. Thanks very much for joining in. You already know what time it is. Get your popcorn ready. No salt, no butter. Welcome to the Lone Star Varsity Friday night wrap-up show. And Krista Pertle came prepared with popcorn this time. You know that we keep it so official. There might have been popcorn at the AJ today, and we saved some of it just for you guys. Are you expecting me to catch one of those soon?
You just gotta be ready.
Let's get right into it. A lot of people looked at us funny when we picked New Deal to win district over Abernathy. This is something I started saying probably the beginning of June. Right, Brian? We got a lot of funny looks when we started saying that, right?
Oh, definitely.
Okay.
Just a lot of, apparently Abernathy had it sealed up for the last couple of years. I don't know.
Just came from that game right now. It was a 41-7 New Deal win. There's a lot to get into with that. Brian was at Friendship. We have Krista Pertle here. We have Mark Rogers. We also have Mike Labar that's going to hook us up with some of the updated stats. Let's get right into it. I think probably the biggest game in the area right now, Friendship Monterey. I told you guys, don't outthink the room here. We're taking steps for LISD. I thought Coronado getting a 4-point loss to Amarillo High was an excellent step. You know, last year, Monterey and Friendship, that was a poor result for the Plainsmen. It was in the 40-point ballpark. This time, much, much closer. Brian, you were there. Take us through it.
Well, I think Monterey actually played really well in the first half, and, they made it a game. Friendship was winning at the end of the first half, but not by much. And Friendship defense just really came out in the second half and shut down Baylor Mitchell in that offense. At the same time, a lot of their wide receivers were dropping open passes, especially one for a touchdown late in the third quarter. So Monterey's offense kind of in a way came out a little flat in that second half, and Friendship just capitalized on it.
Did Monterey look too one-sided?
As far as passing
offense, just with Mitchell.
Yeah, in a way. Whenever they took away his run game and forced him into throwing it a little bit more, you could see that it really hurt them.
Coming into this game, Mitchell was the area leader in combined touchdowns with 25. Where is he now after this game?
I believe he's sitting at 27.
Okay.
Oh, no. Yeah, 27. He had 2 rushing.
With Friendship, what was the difference, do you think?
As far as offense goes?
Just getting the win.
Getting the win. Friendship came out just like they always do, and they. This is actually one of the few games where they were leading at the half. Offense came out, got on the board quick, made sure that it kept up with Monterey rather than letting them pull away by multiple touchdowns. And then there in the second half, Friendship defense came out and just shut them out. Awatt, interesting enough, I think he kind of drew a lot of attention after his opening run. He took it 29 yards, breaking at least 3 tackles. And I think after that happened, Monterey kind of started keying on him, which allowed for Tristan Kennard to kind of make things happen in the air.
If you're just joining us, we're talking a little Friendship Monterey. We're going to take you through all the scores from tonight's games. A couple of really quick highlights. Loveland with a big 62-0 win over Seminole. To me, that is a tremendous result for the Lobos. Once again, a lot of people, they see that first loss, the first couple losses rather for Loveland, and they tend to overreact. This was an 0-3 team. It has quickly become a 3-3 team that could have been a 4-3 team if its game against Brownfield was played out instead of being considered a no contest. It's patching up its O-line. Nick Gerber, as we know, is one of the top quarterbacks in the region, and I think he's continuing to show that. We want you to ask your questions. You can also tweet at us at Lone Star Varsity, or you can ask your questions on the Periscope app. Krista, does the public have anything just yet?
Someone just shared us on Facebook. Thanks for that. But other than that, I'm just going to throw some popcorn because we ain't got nothing.
We appreciate you sharing us. Thank you for doing it for cultural purposes. We really appreciate it. Mike, take us through some of the stats, please. Update it now. We just want leaders for rushing, passing, maybe the top 2, and then if there's anything else that caught your eye.
Well, Brent Schilling had a pretty good game today. He now sits at 1,177 rushing yards on the year, and Cooper Ogle now has 1,043 rushing yards, but Coy McElroy is at 1,039, so he's just 4 right under him. As for passing yards, Danny Campos had a big game today, had 554 passing yards, is now at 2,322 on this season, and 26 passing touchdowns. Right behind him is Nick Gerber with 1,831 passing yards and 21 passing touchdowns.
Muleshoe's kind of far away, so I don't know what exactly the people in Muleshoe are saying tonight, but if I had to guess, They're probably thinking potential Player of the Year nom for Danny
Definitely.
Campos.
Definitely.
Not only that, but they have moved into 3 in the total scoring at 265, right behind New Deal at 266.
So they're in the ballpark of what does that come out to now? Because how many games? This is 6 games?
I believe so.
7 after tonight.
7?
7, okay.
Yeah, 7 after tonight.
Yeah, that's absurd.
Yeah, so roughly you're putting up about 36, 37 points per game.
If you could see that offense on field, you'd be amazed at some of the things that they could do. Muleshoe offense, they move fast and effectively.
You know, it'd be great a shallow water Muleshoe game in the playoffs. That'd get ratings right there. We weren't that far away from seeing it last year, which is Breckenridge happened to trip up Muleshoe in the area around. I thought that would have been a really compelling game as well. We'll take you through some of the area scores quickly, and I hope we get a couple questions or comments. Do we have any, Krista?
Nope,
No comments?
nothing.
All right. So Friendship 30, Monterey 17, that's in 6A. In 5A, Cooper 59, San Angelo Lakeview 20. Thursday night, if you were following, Lubbock High took a really big loss to Abilene Cooper. It trailed rather. It gave up 41 points in the first half there. Not a very good showing by Lubbock High. In 4A, Levelland 62, Seminole 0. And Estacado lost to Borger 27-7. In that game, Bo Sims had a touchdown pass. Snyder won over Big Spring 49-41, but I believe that score, this is not the correct score. But we can confirm that Snyder did in fact win that game. Midland Greenwood over Lamesa 53-0. That's something you absolutely hate to see if you're a fan of the Golden Tours. Muleshoe 49, River Road 0, Childress 42, Littlefield 28. This is a game that I happened to predict this week in our district picks. Don Williams happened to make the wrong selection here, but I'm just stating the facts of the situation. Brownfield 33, Denver City 14, Idalou 49, Highland Park 13, Roosevelt 34, Tulia 6, Shallow Water 49, Kermit 0, and Post 21, Coleman 0. I was on Post this week. I think some really special things are happening with that 3A school. It improves to 6-0 with that win over Coleman. In my opinion, I think this game just decided the district. Floydada 56, Olton 14, New Deal 41, Abernathy 7. Hale Center had a comeback win over Tahoka. Farwell 20, Sudan 6, Lockney 18, Clarendon 15, Memphis 55, Rawls 13, Quanah 26, Crosbyton 20. Seagrave 16, Sundown 7. That result is not a typo. Smyre 16, Plains 13. Those are the 2A through 6A results from this evening. Once again, if you're just joining us, we thank you very much for that. You can ask your questions, by tweeting at us at Lone Star Varsity or by asking us through the Periscope app.
Welcome all questions.
They're really quiet tonight.
The Snyder Big Spring score was 49-41.
Oh, it was accurate.
Yeah.
Okay. So Snyder over Big Spring 49-41. I think that's a huge result for Snyder. Huge
Yeah.
result.
Yeah,
And
go ahead.
And it'll probably end up climbing definitely in the Lone Star Varsity poll because it had been an 8th spot last week. I was unsure of where it would settle. I think Levelland will push back into that poll because it had been out for a really long time. But I think it could potentially get back in, especially with a result like that because Big Spring is really, really highly regarded. We got nothing from the public.
I got a quick question.
Yes.
What aspect of New Deal's game has changed from last year that kind of pushed it past Abernathy, or is Abernathy just not producing like it did?
I think my assessment is that Abernathy is weak this year. New Deal is strong, there's no question about it, but there just wasn't much variety from Abernathy. Trey Bender in space does nice things rushing from the quarterback spot, but he didn't pass all that well. Their lone touchdown came on a Case and Teal, a touchdown reception, but it was late in the fourth quarter. I just wasn't overall that impressed. I think they're struggling. I don't think its offensive line is as good as it was last year. Frankly, Nick Clarkson and Garrett Royal were outstanding for them. I mean, they were just tremendous. With New Deal, I think it executes very well, and it also has a great deal of variety. Like Jai Manahan takes the ball out of the Wildcat, like he lines up in running back. They have 3 back sets. They have empty sets. They do a lot, and they do it very, very well. I think Mark Adams is a really special player, and I think he'll continue to develop. He's just a junior now. You look at him in pads, he's not imposing at all. He transferred from LISD. This is his first year on varsity for New Deal. I think he's been excellent. So yeah, I think it's just variety, and they just happen to execute it, very, very well.
Keeps everybody on their toes.
I think so.
Defensively.
I think so.
Mark Adams is an outstanding athlete.
Yes.
I got to see a couple of clips with him playing. He's fast, really fast kid.
Apparently we had a Twitter question.
Yes.
What's the biggest surprise with the not from Dallas sports today? Probably just the biggest surprise for the night.
Oh, for our area, it's definitely the 62-0 result, Levelland over Seminole at face value, just because, once again, there were questions from the outside in about what Levelland was capable of if it could shore up its offensive line. Seminole has had injuries. Its starting quarterback is out with a broken collarbone. That's junior Brett Hicks. So obviously Seminole was unable to do anything to patch this up, but that result, to me, that scoreline of that result is just absolutely absurd. I think another result that's kind of interesting, Crosbyton getting a loss to Quanah there. I didn't see Crosbyton getting tripped up in district play. It's not the end of the world, I think, for this team. It'll still be very strong moving forward, but I didn't expect, that loss. Also, I like this Brownfield over Denver City result. I think it says a lot about Brownfield, because if it could hold Denver City to 14 points, which I believe it did tonight. Yes, it was a 33-14 Cubs win. Denver City had abused everybody. Okay, Cole McElroy comes out. He's their quarterback, but he's really just a running back playing that position. He rushes for 700 yards, 10 touchdowns in 2 games. I mean, that's what Denver City was capable of. And for Brownfield to limit this team to just 2 scores, I think speaks very highly of its defense, and could potentially should be making Shallowater at least a little nervous.
We just got something that said there was a Brownfield player that threw touches towards the end of the game. Don't know what you know about that.
I couldn't tell you anything about it at the moment because we unfortunately did not have that game covered. But if they want to give us more details, happy to look into it. Public have anything else from us?
Have we confirmed yet whether or not Cole McElroy is back 100% by any chance?
Yeah, I haven't seen the box. No, he played tonight.
Okay.
Yeah, he played tonight. Yeah, he rushed 23 times for 154 yards.
Okay.
When I spoke to their coach, Steve Taylor, the other day, he mentioned that McElroy's shoulder has been improving. It's like an AC joint that had been bothering him, and it's steadily getting better. So even if he's not at 100% to rush for 154 yards, I mean, Denver City was obviously there tonight.
I saw on Twitter that he got out of the game at one point, but he came back in, so I don't know if that's injury or what exactly that is.
Okay, it's a good note. It could be potentially linked to that shoulder.
For Friendship, Ronald Awa and Zay Johnson left the game for a short period, but I saw them walking on the sidelines after the game, so
Gotcha.
they seem to be fine.
Gotcha.
I think Zay just had wind knocked out of him.
Folks, just once again, we're going to wrap up shortly if we don't get any more questions, which I sincerely hope that we do. All our content is going to be on LoneStarVarsity.com this evening. You can find everything. Yes?
Any stats on Baylor Mitchell?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's see. Okay. Rushing, Baylor Mitchell, 20 carries for 102 yards. Passing, Baylor Mitchell, 15 of 33 for 192 yards and an interception. Monterey lost this game 30-17. Mitchell had a 4-yard. The first score for Monterey came on a 4-yard Baylor Mitchell touchdown run, and he ran for another score as well to open the second quarter.
Just a quick note on that: 93 of his rushing yards were in the first half of that game, at least by my count.
Right. Right.
Thank you.
Folks, we'll give you just a last chance to get any quick questions in, or else we're going to wrap it up. But we definitely do appreciate you joining us. And hopefully by next week, Krista Zame will certainly have improved. But
I think there's a gust in here.
Talking about it.
I think so, right? There must be.
The wind's blowing.
There must have been a sale on popcorn today.
Just getting away from it.
I know Mark's looking around knowing that she's going to be picking this up.
Correct.
I got it.
Absolutely. That's all we need is nice bugs in here. That'll be good. A lot of ants right around the desk. That's it. With that, we're going to wrap up tonight. I'm Phil Torino. Thanks very much for joining us on the Lone Star Varsity Postgame Show. We really appreciate it. It's been a lot of fun as always. Thanks again for joining us. All our content's on LoneStarVarsity.com. Thank you once again. We'll see you next week.